Hey, so listen, I just finished working with another client in a story mapping day. It's one of my favorite things to do around the world. This is where you come in for a day or two and we answer this question. Well, what is your story? Not what is a story, but I answer this question. There's no one better on the planet, I promise, doing this. But here's my lesson. The truth is that we think that as we get older, that it just gets better. There's this idea that we get older and the pains and the traumas that we experience either as a child or in our early 20s, that it just goes away and it gets better. But the truth of the matter, it doesn't get better. You actually have to deal with it. The hardest part about building a business is your willingness to build yourself. Hey, it's your willingness to build yourself and to own your own trauma and to own the pain. A lot of times I hear people tell me, oh, but Tiffany, do we really have to bring the trauma to the forefront? It's like, yes, if you want to build something that's going to last, you could totally build a lot of revenue and in dollars and cents. But I'm not after that, guys. Like, we can't take any of this money to the grave. So because we can't take any of this money to the grave, you might as well, if you're going to build something, build something. If you're going to build something that'll last. If you're going to build something that heals you emotionally. I get frustrated every time I hear someone tell me, well, Tiffany, I spent so much money with a coach. I spent so much money in a program or product and they didn't care. And then at the end of it, they told me that I needed to buy another program in order to get the result that I wanted. I feel sick and nauseous. I'm clear on that. Like every time I hear someone awesome tell me that, let me tell you what's not okay. What's not okay is only caring about your customer or client until they can make their next payment. What's not okay is you not going the long haul and you taking care of and loving on your client. Let me tell you something else that's not okay. It's not okay to not own your expertise. Every time that you don't own your expertise and you only play like 40% out, you're shorting the other person. If you're good at something, be willing to display it at 100%. It's okay if you're the only person who thinks that you're great at it. You're not here for the whole world. You're only here for the people who need you. You're here for the people that you're meant to serve. You're here for the people that ... Like, I don't do the damn thing nation for the billions of people or millions of people who don't like my philosophies or ideas. I'm not here for them. I'm not here to make them happier. I'm here to be clear for the people that I'm meant to serve so that they know how to reach me. And more importantly, they know how to stop thinking small. Now, let me ask you this. If you're building a business right now, how can you put the best of who you are or what product or service you have to offer to the forefront so that before they get on the phone with you, before they buy your product, before they do XYZ thing, that it's easier for them to consume, and more importantly, they know that you're the best. Stop stepping to the plate and just being another good provider. Who cares about being another good provider? I don't want to be another good provider. I just want to be the best. Who am I competing with? Myself? Me. You don't have to be compared. You don't have to compare yourself to other people in order to be the best. The easiest way for you to establish yourself and to establish your position is to spend some time every single day telling some part of the market about your story. Now, if you tell the market about your story and you're like, oh, this is some things I learned about my story, it's good. It's like, let me ask you this. How often do you send a text message out to your list? How often do you send an email? If you're not sending a text message or an email, you have to send out some type of content. You have to turn on a camera. You should. You really, really should. I feel like the best kept experts are secrets, and they're secrets because they just feel like if they post a picture of them, learning something or doing something, that's enough. No, the expert produces expert content. The expert shares and tells their story independent of other people listening. I'm not looking for approval for people to listen for me to keep talking. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't keep talking because I'm like, oh, people are listening. No, I need you to be willing to be the best of you. I need you to be willing to be the best version of you. I need you to be willing to share your truth and to share it every day. If you're not opening up your camera on Facebook or social media, you absolutely should be looking to send out an email, send out a text message. If you're not doing that, you should be networking in a group. You got to do more. The expert needs to display what they know. They need to display what they know. But they need to display in a place of confidence And they need to be confident, not that it's the best, but that it's truth. The truth inside of any situation or in any marketing strategy is going to be the best, because truth has a way of finding itself through all the lies. It has its way of shining brighter at the end. And for me, what I've focused on mastering for myself is to telling my story every single day in some capacity. And so it's like, well, what does that mean in terms of marketing? Somehow between yourself and your company, I had to be confident, even though I felt so black in the beginning. I felt so like nobody understood me. I felt so outside because I wasn't part of the good old boys network in personal development. I didn't run a digital agency. I didn't run big funnels. I wasn't talking about big funnels. I couldn't help you with Facebook ads. I couldn't help you with Instagram ads or LinkedIn ads. I couldn't help you with any of those ads. I really couldn't help you with all that stuff. So because I wasn't like all the other people out there who were teaching, I was like, well, flip, I'm just going to teach what I know, and I'm going to teach what I know. Earlier today, someone tried to challenge my thought around building a funnel, and they were like, well, you could create a simple funnel. And I'm like, yeah, you could create a simple funnel and then drive traffic to it and get people to buy it. But in my experience, this avatar, I didn't have time for a simple funnel. I didn't have time for anything. Let me tell you this, it's a whole lot easier. It's a whole lot easier for you to add $100,000 right now based on what you know right now. And then you can go back once you have the cash to go and build other things and to go get help with what you need. But the first part, like building a business, number one, you need to establish yourself as the expert. Be the expert in what you know and let go of all the other stuff. Second, you've got to be able to fight for your expertise status and level. People are not going to hand it to you. You've got to hand it to yourself. You've got to give it to yourself. And then you have to earn to keep it. I had to earn the trust of all the amazing people who have trusted my philosophies and ideas. And then third, I have to be willing to put out a price point that shows the world that I'm confident and clear about the value that I offer. If you don't have a price point that matches that expertise, and you're going to fool around and you're not really the expert, you're a facilitator. A facilitator will make facilitator money forever. The expert's going to make expert money. Do you have a price point in any of your products or services that clearly defines to the market, this is the expertise that I hold, this is the kind of expertise that I hold? And it's like, I feel wholeheartedly that people don't ask for the dollar that they're worth because of their own lack of confidence in themselves and just who they are. Sometimes as a woman, at a point in my life, it was like I lacked the confidence verbally because I was a woman, because I was black, and because I didn't have a college education. I allowed all of the people around me who made me feel inferior to make me feel inferior. I had to make a decision for myself that I was the expert. I couldn't wait for someone else to deem me. Don't wait for yourself to have 10,000 followers to be the expert. Don't wait for yourself to have a list of 1,000 people to be an expert. You don't need any of that stuff to be the expert. You just need to wake up tomorrow and make a decision. It's very simple. You need to wake up tomorrow and make a decision. And then you need to spend your time sharing the problem that you solve and your perspective of the world and getting other people to agree with you that you are the expert. But step one starts with you. Step one starts with you. So don't wait for someone to hand you the flag today. Make a decision today, starting today, to share your expertise. I don't care how small. It could be a Facebook story. It could be an Instagram reel. It could be right here as a Facebook Live. It could be inside of a group, someone else's group. It could be you send out a quick note to your list. But you've learned things. You learned things, okay? You've learned things. You know things. Every year that I grow, my price point goes up because you know what it took for me to get to the last year. You're crazy. What it took, the knowledge that it took for me, like the amount of work I had to do, the amount of money I had to spend to learn my new lessons, you're nuts. That's crazy. You know how many times I had to cry or hit my head or get it wrong or get embarrassed, or absolutely we have to charge for it. Sure. So I don't know what that is for you, but every year your price should be going up in some capacity, even if it's a little bit. Every year your value should be going up. Every year you should be fighting for the respect of the people you want to serve. And every year you should be willing to own a little bit more. Like, I am so much stronger as a provider today than I was 5 years ago. I know so much more. Before I was a master at offline strategies, but now I'm a beast online, right? Like now I absolutely have a ton more value. I have a ton more value, but I don't get to, so let me just finish with this. We can't just settle for what we were yesterday. Like, I can't just be like, oh, well, I've gotten here, so I'm this. No, I'm not anything. You know, as Mark Stoner told me the other day, he said, Tiffany, you're very far from putting in your white flag and saying you've made it. And I'm like, he's right. I'm very far from that. I absolutely have to continue, not necessarily grind and hustle. I need to continue focus on my mastery, focus on getting stronger. Every flipping day is I gotta focus on being stronger. I cannot be the strength I was yesterday. Forget yesterday. I need to be stronger today than I was yesterday, because I'm calling the people who follow me, the people who ride with me, the people who I follow, the people in our community that I love. I'm calling you to a higher standard. I'm calling you to up your game. So because I'm calling you to up your game, I need to make sure that I up my game. For sure. It's a two-way street. I'm never going to ask nobody to do nothing that I won't do. So focus on mastery. I'd love to know what your area of mastery that you're focusing on for this quarter. I just decided on a new one for this upcoming month. What's your area of mastery? What's your area of getting stronger? Where are you going to get stronger? I knew what it was for last quarter. Do you know what it is for this month? Do you know what the weakest parts of yourself are? Up your game. Stop playing at the game of everybody else. Listen, people, we didn't come to the game to just play the game. We came to this game to win it. Period. I love you. Go kill it. Go do the damn thing somewhere. I love you. Go do the damn thing somewhere. I can't wait to see you. Come say hi to me and Do the Damn Thing Nation. Please make sure you get on our list so that we can talk offline, but more importantly, let me know how we can help you win.